Hey and welcome to today's practice. Today I invite you to lie down, and you can either do this on the floor, make sure you've got a yoga mat or a blanket or something soft underneath you. You can do it on carpet as well, or you can do it lying in your bed or on your bed. Don't get in it because you need space for your legs to move. So let's make our way down to either the ground or on your bed, and make sure that you've got cushioning under your head. So I've got a blanket, and we'll start with our knees bent, feet to the floor. It'll take a couple of moments to settle in, to arrive, and you might find that you naturally start to swish your knees a little from side to side. So especially if you have any discomfort or pain in your low back, you might find that actually you want to have a gentle swish of your knees from side to side, and that's fine. You don't need to come to stillness. If you feel like you need to do any other movements, a stretch or a hug of the knees to the chest, just allow yourself a couple of moments to make those movements. So you start to connect your body. Maybe take a few deep sighing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And you can have your eyes open or closed. Allow your back to feel heavy into the support beneath you. You might have your knees knocking in towards each other and your feet just a little bit wider than your hips. And this is constructive rest. So you've got that support of your legs coming together. So really you don't have to hold your legs up. And you can invite your body to feel heavy. Breathing in, send it down towards your belly. Breathing out, releasing any tension in your face, your shoulders. Scanning through your body and noticing if there are any areas that you are tensing or tightening, and I invite you to breathe into those spaces. Imagine you could breathe into that area, and as you breathe out, see if you can allow those areas to soften and that holding to release as much as possible, but don't worry if it doesn't go away completely. Take a moment to check in as you connect to your breath, as you allow your body to settle. Gently asking yourself, how am I today? How am I right now? As always, remembering that these videos are invitational. Not everything that I offer or invite you to do is going to feel right for you, so remembering that you can ease off, you can miss things out if they don't feel good for you. If it feels available, start to breathe in and out through your nose, finding a slow, conscious breath, but remembering you can breathe through your mouth if you need to. As long as we're not holding the breath as we move through these practices. So let's separate the knees and plant your feet to the floor. You might have your socks on or off, or you might be wearing slippers, or but let's see if we can feel our feet pressing into the floor. So have a journey around the soles of your feet. Press your heels down, press the ball of the big toe down and the little toe. And then let your feet settle. And start to work your awareness up through your legs. And then bringing your awareness to your pelvis. And let's start to arch into the low back. Tilt your pelvis forward. So you're still pressing your bum down, but it's like you're trying to press the tailbone down even more, and lift the low back away from the floor. And then let's very gently flatten the low back down. We don't need to smush it so much that our tailbone lifts, but just enough so that the low back makes contact with the floor. As you inhale, breathe down into your belly, arch into your low back, and exhale to flatten. Inhale to arch. Can you sense the muscles in your low back contracting? And exhale to flatten. Can you feel the muscles in your low back releasing? And we'll do that a few more times, rocking your pelvis. Through those pelvic tilts. And this is a really useful technique and somatic movement to help release tension or tightness in your low back. But as I say, some things will work and some things won't. So if you do have any pain in your low back, then make sure you go and see a physio or chiropractor, someone that can take a look at it for you and help you understand what's going on. Let's bring the pelvis back to neutral, and we'll extend the legs. Just take a moment to let your legs feel heavy and notice how that feels. You might give your hips a little wiggle. Give your legs a shake. So releasing any holding or gripping in the legs. Let your pelvis and hips wiggle. And let's go over to the right leg. And we're going to scoop the knee out to the side. We can drag the foot across the floor as if we're bringing the heel up to the body. And then bring your knee towards center so your foot lifts. And then you extend your leg all the way back down. On your inhale, scoop your knee out to the side. Scoop it to center. Exhale, extend. Inhale, scoop it out to the side. Exhale to extend. Keep it going. Find your rhythm and breath and try and go as effortlessly as you can here. Just that same movement, knee scooping out to the side, letting the floor support your leg and your foot for as long as possible until eventually you have to pick it up off the floor. You can place your arms wherever feels comfortable here, but again, we want it to be effortless. Let's take one more in this direction. And extend the leg all the way back down on the exhale. Let your legs feel really heavy. And check in with the right leg compared to the left. How does that feel? There's no right or wrong here, just your observations. My right leg feels bigger and lighter, and almost like it's a little bit higher. Noticing what you can sense. With the same leg, we're going to scoop the knee across the body. So you might use your arms for support out by the side of you. Think about your knee going over to the left, so we're crossing it over the left leg, and you can see that my right bum cheek is coming off the floor, and I'm scooping the knee to center, rolling onto my back, and then extending the leg down. So the same thing, but this time we've got this internal rotation of the hip. We're taking it across the body and down. Keep it going. Inhale, scoop the knee across. Exhale as you extend. And you might notice that you're getting a little bit of a twist there in your spine. And that might feel good. So if you have got any discomfort there in your low back, then take it really slowly. You know, it might not be one breath, one movement. It might just be a natural breathing in, breathing out breath, and try not to tense other areas of your body. So keep checking in with the rest of your body. What is that doing? How is that responding to this movement? And you can allow your pelvis to rock as much as it needs to. And the movement might not be as the same as mine. You might not take your knee over as far as I do, and that's okay too. Let's bring the leg all the way back to center, to stillness. Let your legs feel heavy. Again, noticing how the right leg feels, maybe how it feels in your low back. Let's go over to the left side now, starting with that scooping out to the side, letting the foot drag across the floor. You're bringing your heel up towards your body. You're bringing the knee to center and then extending the leg down. Knee scoops out to the side, coming to center and then extending it down. Finding your breathing pattern, your rhythm as you continue this movement. Remembering that we want it to be really slow and gentle and as little effort and no force. And think of it as oiling up the hip joints, and you might notice that there are some clicks or pops or crunches, like my hips make quite a lot of noises and sounds, and only take the knee out to the side as far as feels okay in your hips. And it isn't about opening up as much as you can, just going to your range of movement and thinking about warming up and releasing any tension or tightness in the muscles. Let's extend the leg all the way back down. Let your legs feel heavy once again. We always come back to this moment in between to pause and notice how it feels. And then thinking about the knee, this time going across your body. So we're bending the knee and we're scooping it across the right leg, coming back to center and then extending the leg down. Knee scooping over to the right side. I'm lifting my left bum cheek and hip off the floor and kind of rolling onto the right side of my hip, and that feels good for me. I like to bring that movement into the spine. And if you're working through these on your own, so if you decide, actually I really enjoy these, between 3 to 5 are good, or up to 10. But really you can do it for as long as you want to, but between 3 and 5 is good. Let's come back to center, find a moment to pause, making sure that you're breathing, you haven't lost the breath. So sliding your right knee out to the side and then coming onto the sole of the right foot. So we're coming back to our constructive rest. Slide the left knee out to the side. This is a really nice way of coming back to that original position where your feet are flat to the floor. And we're going to reach the right toes up towards the ceiling. You can keep a soft bend in the knee, and let's just bring a little bit of movement into the ankle now. Slowly rolling it in both directions. You can spread and wiggle the toes as well. You can do one leg at a time, or you can lift both. It's always nice to do one at a time. If you have got a little bit more time on your hands, then do one at a time and really take your time with it. The slower the better with these movements, but if you are kind of a little bit rushed for time, then maybe you do both. But again, there's the move, we don't need to rush the movements. Wiggle the toes, and then with the right leg, let's press out through the ball of the big toe and stretch across the top of the ankle and foot. So spread the toes, press out through the ball of the big toe, and it's almost like you're wearing a high-heeled shoe. So and you might be able to feel a stretch across the top. And then release. So I'm just bending my knee a little bit more just in case my foot gets cut off. But you can keep your foot lifted, and you can always bring your hands behind the thighs or grab a blanket or something if you're, struggling to reach. Just use something so that then you can let your arms relax down and you're not straining to hold the leg. So pressing out through the ball of the big toe, take a breath in, and then exhale to release. Inhale to point, exhale to release. One more, inhale to point, exhale to release. Give that leg a little shake out. And let's go over to the other side, lifting the left leg, bringing that movement into the ankle if you are doing one leg at a time, spreading the toes. I'm really thinking about oiling up the joints. We need mobility in our toes. They hold us up, they help us move and walk. We need this mobility in our ankles as well, to walk up the stairs and just generally get around. Let's point through the ball of the big toe. So this is better. If you can point your leg up to the sky, then do that. Spread the toes and sense, can you sense a stretch across the top of the ankle and into the top of the foot? And then release. Inhale to press out through the ball of the big toe, and exhale to release. One more. We might have done 4 on the first side. Let's do an extra 1. Inhale to point, and exhale to release. Let's bend into the knees. So like you're marching on the spot. Picking one foot up and reaching the toes up to the sky. And maybe extending through the legs, through the back of the knee a little bit more. And can you sense, as you extend the leg, sensing the thighs, the muscles in your thighs engaging. Let's place the feet to the floor. And then taking your arms out a little bit wider, float both of your knees down to the right side. You might even roll your head to the left. Take a few breaths here. Inhale back to center, and exhale, knees to the left, head might roll to the right. If you've got a little bit more time, you could spend a little bit longer moving the knees, swishing the knees from side to side, or you can pause, take longer, take more breaths in your twist. Invite the floor to support you. Come back to center, come back to your breath and observe before you move on with the rest of your day. Take a moment to notice how you feel. enjoy around 3 to 5 breaths. And send a little bit of love and gratitude to yourself. Thank yourself for taking the time to connect to your body. And when you're ready, you can move on with the rest of your day. Slowly rolling to one side to push yourself up. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this practice, and I'll see you soon.